Happy Jared Goff Day. Speaking of which, we had a tweet finally come out from Albert Breer with a little bit more details on Jared Goff's situation. I've yet to see cap hits per se, but there's this from Albert Breer. First 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, was $125 million. The first 3 years was $165 million. And then obviously there's that fourth-year option that I'm in love with is the $57 million in 2028. That sounds like some hater shit. I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, that was some super hater shit.
It was ideal. It was ideal.
Yeah, the $73 million signing bonus is a big note on that, because that more than likely means that the cap hit on at least that first year, if not the second year as well, is going to be relatively low, extremely low, honestly, because we talked about how Matthew Stafford, the first year of his deal for the Rams, it was only like a $2 million cap hit because he got a $60 million signing bonus.
Yep.
So I would assume that this is going to be a very similar reasoning of why they gave him that $73 million signing bonus. And we talked about like not a lot of teams, not a lot of owners can do that because not a lot have the capital to shell out. They don't have $100 million sitting there to just give to a guy. Luckily, Sheila Ford Hamp's got those buku bucks, so she could just go out there and give a guy that much money to take some off of the cap hit. We have another tweet that I just sent to you, Chris, that breaks it down a little more. This is from our friends over there at Over the Cap, who do a great job of breaking down contracts. This is Jason from Over the Cap. He said, regarding Goff's contract numbers, a $73 million signing bonus should be the largest in the NFL. Lamar Jackson had been number one at $72.5 million.
Wow.
He said he would guess the new money is $98 million or so, which would be third. That's 1 year cash for Jared Goff. $98 million. Imagine. I know none of us can imagine this because none of us will experience this in our lives.
Straight cash, homie.
Hey, relax.
I mean,
we got future NFLers in the chat right now.
I hope we all experience this in our lives, but more than likely, none of us.
Stop. Just say, hey, yeah, come on.
You sign your name on a piece of paper, you wake up, and there's $73 million sitting in your account. That is fucking nuts. Like, congrats to Brad Holmes, to Mike Disner, to Sheila Ford Hamp for getting this deal done and putting it in a favorable position for both parties. Because I'm sure Jared Goff and Kristen Harper are, and if they have a dog, I assume they have a dog.
They do. Remember, I kept trying to hump the reporter.
Yeah. And that dog, that whole family wakes up and they're $73 million happier. And the Lions down the road are happier because they can spend more money because the cap hit isn't going to be as bad as it would be if they didn't give him this insane signing bonus.
Lions fans.
Shout out Mike Disner. And Chris, that's another picture in Slack, if you will, just on the Kristen Harper topic. But in regards to Jared Goff contract, this was ideal. Like, I was hoping for 45. I was trying to speak it into existence. Once we saw Kirk Cousins at like 38, 37, however old he may be, coming back from a torn Achilles sign.
$100 million.
Yeah. Shout out.
Oh, goodness.
Jared Goff winning at life.
Jared Goff is winning at life.
Jared Goff is winning at life.
He has by far got the baddest wife out of quarterbacks.
It's my quarterback.
I don't know if they're married yet. I know
Nope,
they're engaged.
not yet. They will be. I forgot what I was saying. Don't remember now. Oh, nope. Still gone. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those things will do it to you.
Usually Chris announces before he puts stuff. The one time he doesn't.
$100 million, Kirk Cousins.
Oh, when he signed that $45 million a year, I was like, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like JG's number is going to start with 5. But again, you have that. It's a perfect window. Not the perfect window, obviously. Like the cap hit is less than ideal once it starts to roll in. But you have this year with Ben Johnson.
Yes.
All right. The following year, with or without, we don't know. But you have Tanner Strand. You get a feel for what we got going on beyond Ben. One more year of it, one last year of it, and then you could pivot from it and start to move on. What are you smiling at?
You're already thinking about the end of this contract, and it hasn't even started yet.
Well, hold on, though. I'm just for the people that were on that side of things, like Matthew Kruger, and we had a few of those calls yesterday, right? Like it is an ideal contract for all parties.
Yes, it is.
Because of that reason. Like there is that fourth year option if things don't work out post Ben Johnson. That is ideal. Jared Goff also gets paid. You also get to see because this year. That's the other piece of this too. Jared Goff, obviously I've been vocal about you need certain pieces around him for that thing to work. you have these certain pieces, and those certain pieces are also locked in. We talked about it yesterday with Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra specifically, but obviously Jameer Gibson, his rookie deal. You got Aiden Hutchinson in his fifth-year option. Jameer in his fifth year. Like, everybody that helped you get to the NFC Conference Championship game is still under contract right now.
Yeah.
So we know what we have. You could win with Jared Goff. You really can. Nick, you wanted to say something.
I just like the fact that Sheila opened up the checkbook here, so it gives Goff obviously the massive signing bonus there, but it gives us the flexibility on the back end. I think that's the biggest thing. It allows Brad Holmes to do what he wants with the flexibility on the back end of this deal. And you think about a good GM compared to a bad one. I mean, a little bit of apples to oranges here, but we have the team option with Jared Goff compared to a player option like Javi Baez when it comes to the diamond, and now you're stuck into that. This is the complete opposite. This is on the team. They can make the best decision for them, and it gives us the flexibility, like I said. So I absolutely love this deal so far from seeing all these numbers come out.
Yeah, I don't think player options are a thing in the NFL. Like, I honestly, I can't think of a single one that has been a thing. But you're right. Like, it gives the team the control, and seeing, I talked about it a little bit yesterday about how people are like, oh, we're glad this team is finally spending money. They're finally spending money, unlike other Lions. No, Lions teams spent money. Like other regimes, they spent money.
Yeah.
They just spent money in stupid ways. This regime is spending smart money. They are drafting well, developing those players, and spending money on those guys from the inside rather than going out and trying to get a Damian Woody or a Trey Flowers or a Jamie Collins and throwing a ton of money at them to come fix their team. Their team's already set. They're locking up those pieces for a continual success. And on top of that, they're not doing contracts like a Damian Woody or a Trey Flowers that burn you and clog up your books. They're doing contracts like the one we see with Jared Goff that give you a lot of flexibility, and you can maneuver around and work the cap like guys like Les Snead and Howie Roseman and other very good front offices work the books, cook the books, as you should say.
Yeah, and that's been my point from the jump is, and I don't mean this as a disrespect. People take it as a disrespect, but all I want is the contract to be tradable. That's it. As long as it's tradable, it's a good contract. Like in the NFL, all you need is that one team to convince, and this is assuming that things don't go positively for the Lions. All you need is that one team to look at it and say, yeah, we can do a year or two of Goff. Look at this guy. He got to the NFC Championship. He got to the Super Bowl way back when. Like, this is a guy that is better than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. We have that ranking all the time. So to me, at the end of the day, if it's a tradable contract, it's a good contract. This is a good job for Brad Holmes. And again, it's good for Jared Goff, because is he getting the most per dollar? I don't think so, but in a sense, he probably is, between the huge signing bonuses, the guarantees. I think this is probably the most guaranteed he would have got anywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the most guaranteed that anybody has got. Like, I mean, almost anybody other than fucking Deshaun Watson, and we see how terrible of a contract that was. This is one of the most guaranteed deals ever, and he deserved it.
I think it's the sixth most in guaranteed dollars.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still, regardless. And I saw people saying he earned it. He absolutely did. I mean, without doing what he did the past 2 years, you're not – think about it this way, right? Any truly top five quarterback, when they re-sign these extensions, they are resetting the market.
Yeah.
That is happening every single time. We saw it like 2 times in a row with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow when that situation went down. Then once more Lamar Jackson. Any true top five guy he earned that, because without these past 2 years, he's nowhere near those type of numbers.
And all I'm saying is, don't worry about that $53 million number. Don't worry about that $170 million guaranteed number. Wait until that cap hit comes out, because that's the only number we should be concerned with. The guaranteed contract, the cash incentives, all of that shit, that's what Sheila Ford Hamp has to worry about. Lions fans, the only number we're worried about is the cap hit. So when that comes out, then we'll see what this deal really looks like. And like I said, because of that $73 million signing bonus, I have a hunch that the first 2 years of that cap hit are going to be extremely friendly for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and like I said, everything's locked into place regardless, on top of just even being probably a little bit better than you were last year with the additions of your rookies you have this year.
Yeah.
And Brad Holmes knocks them out of the park every single time. He's no Torkelson when it comes to drafting.
I think this also makes sense looking at the details of this contract, why it took so long, why it didn't get done right away. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so I could feel Spinny smiling at me.
why were you doing that?
All I'm saying is, we're gonna be all right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is, to Chris's point, I think we were right about like why it took so long was because there was a difference in years. They wanted a different length of the contract, and both camps came to an agreement. The Lions probably said, "Hey, we'll give you more guaranteed money if you take one less year," and that's probably what happened.
This is the Daniel Jones contract on steroids.
Yes,
that's exactly what this is.
That's all it is.
But in a good way.
What?
Good steroids, not bad steroids.
Yeah, no, good steroids. Steroids that help.
Yeah, they're bad.
I had to take steroids for my shoulder one time.
Makes so much sense.
Not like anabolic steroids.
I mean, your hands are huge.
My hands were. I was born with huge hands.
Yeah, big ass head.
Yeah, that's true.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense. But and finally, you know, to put a bow on all this conversation,
wrap it up neatly.
It is like I said, there is one deciding factor on whether or not this is a good contract for the Detroit Lions, and that is winning the Super Bowl. If you win the Super Bowl, it is the best contract that the Lions have ever given out. If you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a bad contract, flat out. It's what it comes down to. Those are the chairs you're sitting at. That's the table you're sitting at. That's the pond you swim in. Whatever analogy you want. Those are your expectations, are to win a Super Bowl. So if you don't, it's not a good contract. If you do, it's the best contract ever.